Now, Hosetta, what would you have said to her, knowing all this about her, knowing this about Cinderella?
She said the key word, compassion.
Right.
I believe myself as my personality. I would have showed him love. I would have showed her compassion, because that's the key right there. It's not about the whole religious circle. You have to draw people, because if you realize that that's our Savior, draw people with compassion, with love. That's how he went through, healing everyone and touching everyone. It was compassion. I think that compassion, and of course, as Phyllis stated, you do need to let them know that you have to get up and you have to do something. But I love the way when you spoke about the physical part.
Right.
Oftentimes, that's how mental illness enter into our lives, is through something physical, something happening, something breaking you physically, mentally. That's how it enters in. But so you need someone to come in to let you know, like, you are worthy for this. So I would have dealt with that in the same aspects of showing her love, showing them compassion, showing them, getting them. You got to get them to the door, through the point, before you start addressing the physical outside of them, the dress, their hair, their tattoos. I mean, because that's part of them. And so I would have addressed it definitely with compassion.
So what would you do to, and me and Cinderella talked about this when she was on my show before, what do you do to the women who don't know how to get out of the valley? Because you have women that are in the valley and they stay in the valley. One, because it's a comfort zone, because there are no demands on you if you're living in the valley. There's no demand. Well, really, there is. The demand is you staying there with the friends that you're in there with. So that's one demand, that they going to make sure you stay in the valley, because the valley always needs company. The valley cannot exist without things around it. It doesn't exist. But you do have some women that want to get out. But like I said, the rest of them, girl, I tried that. This didn't work. And you know the I tried that people, because everybody knows that I tried that and it didn't work people. We all know them. We all do. And the choice becomes you. Do you stay in there with them? Because if they tried it, why should I try it? So what would you say to that person that's stuck in the valley?
Well, definitely the person that's still stuck in the valley, I definitely wouldn't. I may go in the valley to get you, but as you said, I'm not staying in the valley with you. Now, I will lift you or give you a helping hand to pull you up out of the valley. But what I would say to a woman that is stuck in a valley and they're stuck in a certain place is, of course, I would minister the word to them. I would give them the word. But most of all, I will let them know that they don't have to stay there. But at the end of the day, you can tell people that they have to come out of the valley. You can tell them that they shouldn't stay in the valley. But it always got to come to the part where Cinderella says she came to, that broken part. If they never experience brokenness, if they never experience surrendering, 9 times out of 10, sorry to say, that majority of them will stay in the valley.
Right.
So you can minister to them till you blue in their face, but it has to be an individual thing. It has to be that they want to come out of the valley. And so you can minister to them, and you're still supposed to share the word with them. You're still supposed to let them know that they're worthy. You're still supposed to be compassionate. But if that individual chooses to stay, they'll stay until the day they die. I experienced it with my sister that died at 35 of stomach cancer. She chose, and she dealt with a lot of mental illness. She chose, even though we spoke to her, we talked to her, we ministered to her. She came from a line of ministers. She gave her life to Christ, praise God, before she transitioned. But she chose to live her life to stay there. And it was nothing that we could have done but share the word with her. And praise God, we shared it with her.
Yeah. That
she was able to do what she needed to do before she transitioned. But she stayed in the valley.
Okay, I'm going to ask a difficult question. Okay, here I go. I'm ready. When will there become a time, other than today, that women can and openly voice the fact that they have been in a state of mental illnesses, or they are in the state? When will it become a time when it will be comfortable? And not that you say it because it's the day of the week, but that you're sitting around with a bunch of, you know how when we sit around and we talk, when will it be ever acceptable for that to come up? Because Okay, at our Black Women in Business meeting, when I brought it up, the one lady was talking about how it is with missing a thyroid. To which I later I called her on the phone, told her I had to go look that up. Because I know your thyroid causes you to be up, down, just, stand on your head one day and run down the street the next day and then be cool the other day. I know that having a thyroid does that. I didn't know not having a thyroid causes even more of an effect. Because I never thought about without it. I just know you can have your thyroids and they go off task and you go with them off task. So I knew that, but I had to learn without it. But we talked about it at our Black Women in Business meeting. And it was what? It was okay to talk about it at that, because we were all at a place where, okay, really? Okay, that's very interesting. And then we didn't stay on that on that topic for a long time. We were just like, wow, I didn't think about that. So we talked about it. So when do you think we can ever come to a setting where we can open, honestly talk and give women information as well as taking information from them? Such as you didn't know Cinderella when you walked in, and
not to that extent.
And I'm glad y'all didn't know each other, because we can't always know everybody, And we need to know our table of women should never be too full, because we're women. We should never have a table that that's okay. I can't let nobody else in. No, table can still grow. So there you go. So do you think there'll ever be a time when we can comfortably talk about it?
I think it has to come to a point, as we did in that Black Women in Business, where someone has to be vulnerable. Someone has to be willing to speak out and say that I've dealt with mental illness before, without getting to stare at them like, girl, you went through all of that. Me looking at that individual woman like, okay, you are a businesswoman, or you are a pastor, or you're this and you're that. I think it has to come to a point where you and women in a circle, as you spoke to, but it has to come to a point where these women can be vulnerable with each other. You have to be in that type of setting. So I don't think if a woman is not in a comfortable setting, like we were in that meeting, that they won't vocally voice it. Because us as women, we're even though we consider gossipers and we're considered to go around and we put our business out in the streets, how it is. But naturally, at the same token, that's why a lot of women deal with abuse, because we hide our stuff.
Right.
We want to keep it in our closet.
Yeah.
But if you can actually get to a group or get to a particular spot like Black Women in Business, or like church groups where people are not judgmental,
right?
Then you can have those open circles. But unfortunately, people are not gonna run around and say, "Hey, by the way, I'm bipolar. Hey, by the way, I'm ADHD. Oh, I'm OCD." They don't want to give you those. They want to tell you I'm MD. I'm a clinical counselor. I'm pastor. I'm bishop. Those letters sound much better than I'm OCD. I'm ADHD. I'm bipolar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it has to come to a point where it has to be a comfortable setting.
And when you say the OCD, like I was saying before, what drives me crazy?
Yeah.
And whether it's a mental thing or whatever it is, okay, women, we carry purses. I think that everything in your purse should be where you can grab it blindfolded. I think everything in your purse should be in a spot where it belongs perfectly there and doesn't go anywhere.
I have something to say about that.
She's trying to sound crazy. But anyway, so women who, when women go through their purse and they're digging and digging and digging, the back of my head, I hear that screeching sound on the blackboard. The screeching, when we used to have blackboards, because we don't have them anymore. But that screech, that's what it sounded like to me when women are digging in their purse. And I can't deal with it. I can't stand it.
Well, I consider it an anti-theft system.
I can go crazy.
It's an anti-theft system.
Why?
Because I once was mugged, true story, on 3rd Avenue, Madison, dumped my purse on the ground because he wanted my bank cards. And when I dumped my purse on the ground and all my stuff fell out, he said, I'll forget it. And he actually walked away to mug someone else. So it was an anti-theft system.
I just think it's craziness. I do. I do.
For some people, they're comfortable with that.
I can't deal with it, though, because I don't know how. I'm like, how do you deal with the fact that your purse looks like... Oh my,
Because I know where the credit cards are and the phone, I'm good.
See, it should be. If you see my purse, you're like, "What's wrong with this woman?"
You can have a tour, right?
That drives me up the wall.
Can I address the question you asked?
What question?
When will it be okay for women to verbalize and work?
Yes.
I have a little project I'm working on. And I call it the Round Table.
Oh, okay.
And I've been working on it for years quietly, and recently I haven't even told nobody but God. And it's about safety, when to be able to verbalize that you are burdened with this or have been burdened with this. And for me, what I have received in my prayer and my research and my personal experience of a journey with it is, we have to have women that are empowered, that have overcome, that now walk in success, get out of their fear cave of shame, and they gotta speak up. So we have to pull in some women, and that's what I'm doing now. I'm researching, reach some women that have had this. Some of them have been in mental illness centers and now are in senates and run schools and run offices and run a church and are successful. Say, hey, guess what? I had mental illness. I was diagnosed with bipolar. Guess what? I took the medication. Guess what? I tried to kill myself. Guess what? I ran naked down the street. We have to have women do that. For me, the safety zone, that's why I'm doing this thing called the Round Table, where women can come and go, we're going to put down our cloth and we're going to just go, oh, girl, if you only knew. You know what I mean? It's got to come out. It's got to come out. But we need our strong women out there that have overcome it to speak up. Because then you have those that are uneducated, that have not achieved much, that are thinking, I can't, but they're not looking and seeing. They see this perfection forgery of a person. I call that forgery of a person. You so perfect, but girl, tell me when you were hiding under the bed. So for me, when's the perfect time? I'm bringing it to the Round Table. I'm doing this thing, and I want to do it where we all just kind of take off. We don't need IDs. You know what I mean? We don't need to say who we are. Right. We could just say, what did I overcome? No.
That'd be great. That would be great.
So I'm going to make, I want to make this thing because, girl, if there were anybody that were crazy, I told you it was me. I was a poster child. But I want to say something, and I want to take the chance to say it over the radio because I need someone to hear this. I came to a realization talking to you 5 minutes ago. I felt that having compassion with one specific individual. She was in my house. She was there. She was reachable. But because she pushed on an agenda that made me feel so uncomfortable, I failed her. Didn't realize it till a second ago talking with you. I felt that yet again, I was the victim of her because she wanted me to agree with something that I stand against for firmly. And I failed her. I should have stood with her, for her, even though I didn't agree where she was coming from. So I'm sorry, you know who you are. So thank you for letting me apologize on the radio.
Sometimes we do that. We do that. We're human.
God, I'm learning. It makes me so sick sometimes.
we're human. My thing is also what I dislike that we do so well is we're a little bit too judgmental. We're supposed to accept people who they are and where they are. Now, if where they are, they ask you for some help, then you give it to them. But who they are, you should accept. I don't know whether it's because of where I'm from, because I'm from Detroit. So we don't, not that we accept everything, but I think Northerners are a little more accept things than you do in the South. I do, because being from Detroit and then moving to this area here, you'd be like, these people are crazy. You know, I'd be like, why you be judging people? Because I say, I'm from Detroit, and I met a lady, her name, she goes by Tiger. I met her, and you know, and I was talking to her, I'm like, hold up. We didn't know each other when we were talking. You know how you just talking to somebody? We just talking. I'm like, hold up, what part of Detroit you from? She goes, why? Because certain words you said let me know that's where you're from. You know, so we started talking about Detroit, and then, you know, she wrote a book, and her book is excellent. Man,
What's the name?
I forgot. Anyway, you're me, Tiger. But, you know, so me and Tiger were sitting down talking, and one time we got together, we went out to lunch, and this lady came up to me, she goes, did you know she was a lesbian? Yeah. She goes, so why are you sitting with her? I said, because what she is none of my business. You know, I say, that's her choice. I said, if that's her choice, I have to respect her choice. I said, it's not my choice, but it's hers. I said, see, I don't have to live the way she's living. I live the way I live. I say, first of all, number one, I'm comfortable with who I am. I said, so if I'm comfortable with who I am, I'm fine with anybody else. I say, because no matter what anybody else, who they are, whatever, I'm comfortable with me. And I know who I am. I know what I'm about. So hanging out with somebody's lesbians, hanging out with some of the people I do hang around with, you know, I do know. I mean, it's fine that I'm comfortable. I say, but our problem is we become judgmental of people, and we aren't here to judge. That's not our job in life, to judge. And women have become so judgmental about craziness. What I mean by craziness is if you don't have a name brand purse, they judge you. You know, if you're not carrying this, we judge. I think before we start accepting everything, we first need to learn that we're not here to be judging people. You know, we don't do that, but we do. And that's going to be something that that's a piece of glass we're going to have to shatter, you know, in order to get...
Another one I'm stealing, a piece of glass I have to shatter.
That's in order for us to get to where you want us to be, and what I was saying, and we're all talking about, we agree we need to be. We got to get rid of all that judgmental stuff.
So will you join me in creating a round table in your rollerblading life? Because
I do live on rollerblades. Yes,
so would you join me so
sure.
we can do this? I don't know how we're gonna do it, but something that we can have. And I'm a builder. I build furniture, so I'm gonna make us a round table, a portable table that becomes puzzles, and we get together and we're gonna take off our shoes. That's gonna be the rule. People gotta leave their shoes at the door, so they can't run out the door.
Oh, so you can run. So when it gets hot in the kitchen, you can't leave.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do it and jump on calls. Joe, you gonna come visit us too? We'll have a wig for you. Right
Joe, like, oh my God, I gotta write this down.
That is real.
Would you join us?
Yes.
Because I really will tell you that I'm infected with my own past. So remember that even though I see God, whatever, I see things through my filter, you know, and they are jaded parts that I need to shatter that glass. I'm stealing that. So I need to shatter. So I would love to do this. I don't know why, but I know that God has connected me to an amazing woman like you. And a lot of counseling and everything. I think that they can let us have some event somewhere where we don't have to pay no money. And it's private. No one's allowed to record. No one's allowed. It is just what's left there. We're going to have the bucket for vomit. And it's going to be healthy because I believe that there we can birth a sponsorship. Someone who's already overcome something, find someone that hasn't, pull them in, help them. You're going to have to deal with it. You might have to fast and pray just to deal with this one person for 1 hour a day. Because, girl, I need people to fast like a lot to deal with me, but I think it's good.
But, you know, I have a friend, she was supposed to be on here today, but her mother's sick and she's in San Antonio. It's Trudy.
Trying to meet Trudy.
I know, but but her mother's sick, so she went to San Antonio. I told her, that's cool. You go to see your mother because, you know, you don't know. So, you know. But
you gotta say that because I'm gonna be 50 on Monday, and I tell my kids.
I'm older than you, so be quiet.
No, but I tell the kids to see. You know, you never know what happens. You know what they say? Oh, Mom. See, trying to be there.
But with Trudy, she has an amazing story. So do you. But Trudy was diagnosed in 1992 with HIV and given 90 days to live. And this is 2018, and Trudy's still here. She went through some woo boy stuff. So her sitting at the table, if you don't know her, you're gonna need Kleenex when you sit at the table with her. Me, I'm fine now because I know her story, so I'm okay. But when you listen to her story, you go first.
So we need a donator. A lot of Kleenex, buckets, Kleenex, rugs, tissue.
Because when you listen to her story first, you look at her, you know, and you look at her again, and, you know. Then after that, you know, you're like, oh my. Wow. Wait, who? Because she's still hearing what she went through. So she's another amazing female. You know, when I met her, and her daughter got us introduced because her daughter listened to my show and said, hold up, you need to talk to my mother. And my thing was, why I gotta talk to your mother? You know, and I didn't even know her daughter. She listened to the show, but she contacted me. I'm like, okay, talk to your mother. You know, and when I sat down with her, she said, when you sit down with her, first thing you're gonna notice is she had a stroke. That's all you would notice. That's it. You will notice her stroke because of her language, you know, her slurred speech. That's all you'll know. But as she began to talk, you go, Okay, you know, and she has a story to tell about perseverance also, because like I said, she was given 90.
I need to meet you. I'll cook food for you.
Because 90 days to live, and it's 2018. You know, I said you're only here because you have a story to tell. You know, and she went through some woo boy stuff. You know, and she lived here in Texas, in San Antonio, is where she did all these amazing, crazy things. Because, you know, to me, if you got 90 days to live, you basically might do anything you felt like it, because you know that's it. So kind of that's what she did. She did a whole bunch of stuff, you know, up until her.
See, she needs to be on the round table.
Yeah, she does. Because her point of turning around wasn't in jail. It was when they did experimental drugs on her, because in jail, you know, they can, because they can do whatever they want to you when you're in jail. Yes, they can. They can give you any drugs they want to. If you have something wrong with you, all the experimental drugs, they can give them to you, because you're in jail, because you belong to them. Just like a guy in the military belongs to.
So we gotta change that. Somebody needs to change that.
So, you know, just that. But what she did was, when she woke up from what they thought she wasn't going to wake up, there was a tag. Her toe tag was at the foot of her bed, and the nurses came in to clean her body up, and they screamed and left because she was sitting up in the bed. You know, so I know, you know. So when you hear her story, you're like, and you still, you know, my question is, you still here? You're still here. You're poof, you know. But yeah, I know she has
so please, can you set up a meeting so please?
Yes, I will.
And Tiger. All these ladies.
I know. So I know people from A to Z. I actually do, because I think because what I think is, we need to know everybody, so we can understand your story. So we can because we need to not like it or hate it. We need to understand that even though we're all women, we came from different parts. First of all, of the world, we came from different areas of life. Yet we're here right now, open to talk about it. You know, in order for our girls to grow up in life, they've got to know that we didn't get to where we are right now without something.
Right. Well, we have to address the She Foundation coming up. Don't know the date. Look her up on Facebook. Sharita. She's got her ministry, She Foundation, and what she's talking about is what you just talked about. And she's talking about the crab mentality. Never heard that.
Crabs in a barrel.
Yeah, and I so much didn't hear it, I had to Google it. Because I imagine a crab like this, but I was like, so I had to Google it to actually read about it, because I wanted to see what people are saying. You know what I mean? Like, definition.
But you know, the crabs in a barrel, as much as people make it negative, it also can be positive.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was telling my boyfriend. Because sometimes you need somebody to go.
Yeah, but the point is this. But the point is this: if we're all climbing up, I'm not pulling you down. I'm simply climbing too.
That's my concept.
You know what I mean? So through all the climbing, somebody's going to fall. But you didn't fall because I pulled you down. It's just that you fell. You know. But when you're all climbing, and you're climbing. Yes, somebody is going to fall down. And if I'm climbing on the back of you, I'm not trying to knock you down. I'm trying to get up too. But there's no. But wait, there's no teachable method on how to get out. You know, nobody said.
But I believe that you do have people that their intention is to climb over you and throw you backwards. And one of the things that you just mentioned that kind of went ding in me, that is, I have this vision of this catapult. You know, I see myself like a giant sometimes. So I have this vision of all these powerful women, and we're all hanging, and some smarter, and some smaller, and some bigger, and some wiser. And I have, when she told me about this crab mentality, and I'm going to do a speech, in my head, I'm sorry, I saw us hanging a bunch of crabs, right? Mind you, I was the cutest crab. I'm just kidding. But I did see these crabs that instead of using their claws to break down, we're going to catapult. Let's grab, and this one that is the weakest, this one that still struggles and doesn't know what it is we do, let's grab her together and let's catapult her. Don't be jealous. Don't be biting. Don't be backbiting because maybe she's cuter than you, because you feel that at her age you didn't have help. That's how I feel. Now let's help her. Forget about what if at 19 no one said, hey baby girl, let me take care of her. And she's 19 and you think that she should learn how to go through a long journey. man, don't be such a hater. My mind gets full of dirty words and I just want to curse, I got to repent. Because I'd be like, don't be such a hater. Let's push her to the next level. Let's catapult some woman. Let's tell some people, girl, let's go pray. Let's go eat some chocolate. Chocolate works a lot when you like.
Chocolate works. Chocolate is, chocolate soothes.
Chocolate's my friend.
Chocolate is the soothing item that I think everybody shares.
Yeah. So thank you for having us. Thank you for having me. You love me. I love you. You gotta love me to put up with me. You gotta love me.
But you gotta admit one thing. When we first met, we didn't know nothing of this about each other.
Oh, nothing at all. We're standing out there with Borrow My Gown. Borrow My Gown. Everybody donate your dresses. We are sponsoring Relay for Life, and we are going to be doing something with kids therapy as well, with children with special needs. We collect dresses, shoes, accessories, and other women use them for free. The only thing we ask is please bring your dresses back 7 to 10 days. Excuse me. That's the only thing we want. And at this point, let me tell you, we are no longer going to require you wash your dresses because I've been doing research and I've become the dry cleaner lady. And I can wash them dresses myself. Just get me my dresses back, so that I can get them washed. And what we're doing with this, I came here and Borrow My Gown was honored enough to be able to assist some of the women from Teaching to Love Ministry. Leah Gilmore, the bomb. If you need some assistance, that place will help you come up and come out and grow and learn. And that's how I met her. I came here with 2 dresses and that was it. And then my son fell in love with her. Oh, I like her. She was like, yo, like this, and that was it. And then I text her at 11 o'clock at night. Hey, what you doing?
I'm in a night owl.
So am I. I have issues.
5 hours of sleep is all I need. And I can't do that because my brain won't stop.
Yes.
Because my brain it won't stop. So I'm up. I'm the one. I sleep here, and there's next to me there's a pad and a pen. Because I'll wake up and write, or as I'm like, okay, I can do this, and then.
So when is your book coming out?
That doesn't help. I'm an ADD adult, and I drink. If I need to go to sleep, need to, then I know what I need to drink, which will be a Coke. Drink some Coke, coffee, because
Phyllis Jones. Soapbox.
But the thing that hype you up slows me down. Wow. So I know what to do, but what you tell me the tea, that would only keep me awake.
So when does your book come out? When does your book
Actually,
come out?
You know what? I am writing a book, but not about what you think.
God told me.
But not about what you think.
Tell me what it's about.
For the NAACP for 6 years, it's been a long time ago. 6 years I was a legal redress chair, and I helped a lot of people. So my book is going to be called Many Lives, Many Faces.
Many Lives, Many Faces.
And it's based upon all the issues that I worked with the NAACP. I'm nobody's name, but I'm talking about what we did and how I assisted them. Because my book will be a teaching tool also, because I'm going to teach you how I assisted them.
Okay, I can't play her in the movie, but
listen to her.
You see this? Many Lives, Many Faces, be in the lookout, bestseller.
Because what I still hear is people going through things, and I'm like, oh, listen, this is all you got to do. And it's easy to tell people now because I actually know how to do it and to talk about it. So that's why I'm writing a book about the cases.
Many Lives, Many Faces. You'll see in the little quotations, Phyllis Jones, the cheat sheet. She'll tell you how to do it.
But that's what I want to do. And I started it. Right. I started it only because I'm no longer the legal redress chair. Oh, thank heavens. But I'm the state education chair for the NAACP, and I'm also the Central Texas area coordinator. Through that, I still assist people. So I'm like, I just need to write this. So one day, I just need to write. So I am going to do a book on all the cases I worked and give you the solutions of what we did to get it done. So that one, it's going to be a book, but it's also going to be a teaching tool at the same time.
So look out on the round table, book signing, Phyllis Jones, Exposing the Lies. Look out for my sister here. She's going to give us some knowledge. And we're going to change the world. And this is Joe. Joe, say hi. Say hi, Joe. Say hi, Joe. Say hi, Joe.
Joe. See, what y'all don't know about Joe. Joe unsuccessfully tried to stay out of everything. Since Joe has been with me, he's been trying very hard to stay the low key. I don't talk. And since Joe's been with me, it has never worked.
Featuring Joe.
It has never worked. Joe's been in pictures. He's been all, but it's because if he wasn't quiet, it wouldn't happen. But he tries to stay quiet, so this is what happens. And then can you picture all the stories he's heard?
Oh my goodness. You need to write a book. The lady with the fuzzy hair, the lady with no shoes. So I love you guys, but I'm going to leave you, ma'am, do your
Yes,
thing.
you have to.
Phyllis Jones 103, the bomb, the man over here with the buttons. And I'm going to go to the...
Okay, Hosetta, if someone wanted to reach you and reach out and talk to you, how could they find you?
They can find me on Facebook at Hosetta Irvin. And my website is www.whatministries.com. And I don't have an official building, but they can reach me on Facebook and through there.
Okay, now there's one more issue though. Okay, you have people who have a smartphone, but they don't use it smartly. Mm-hmm. You have people who refuse to do email, Instagram, Facebook. They don't do any of those things. So is there a number they can call you at?
Yes, it's 210-381-4548.
And I always ask that because we assume that since this is the age of technology that everybody's there, but no, you have people who are still technology challenged.
Yes.
So I always ask for a phone number when they give me all the other social stuff.
Yes.
I'd be like, I need a phone number.
Reach me there.
Yes, good. How long you been doing what you're doing?
I've been pastoring for 10 years. Just recently gotten my spiritual certification over the last year.
Cool. Okay. Well, I want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
As we talk about mental illness, and we're not going to stop. My next thing is to try to get men to come on to admit it. Like I said, I'm gonna go get some rope.
Hard task.
I'm gonna go get some rope and lasso them in, and get them talking, because we need to talk about it.
Yes.
So that and I always talk. We need to talk about it so our kids know that it happened. That they'll know they're not the ones weird. That they get to know they're not the ones with a problem. That we've been there too.
Definitely.
And we came out to be who we are right now, because the misthought is that you don't know, you've never been in it. You're like, oh, yes, I have. I just might not look like it, but
Right.
I was there too. And so we need to walk it, talk it, and show it.
Yes.
And also for other women, because like when I mentioned I was doing the show at our last meeting, that's how we found out about two ladies that were there.
Yes.
Well, if I wouldn't have said it, what would we have ever known?
Nope, you wouldn't know.
We wouldn't have ever known. And the one lady who missing her thyroids, we would never known that some days, some meetings, if we see her, might not be her comfortable day to really talk. We didn't know that. Now we know.
Her.
Yeah. So that's it. We would have judged her. We're like, dang, she kind of antisocial this time, I ain't do nothing to her,
Exactly.
Well, now we know, okay, she's missing a hormone, so this could be one of those days. And we need to know those things so that we, like you said, won't think they're crazy.
Right.
Or won't judge her and go, I ain't talking to her no more. Yeah. Next time I see her, I'm just, So we now know we need to take that second look.
Yes.
Before we open our mouth. So one day I would like for you to, do ministry and speak about the fact of we need to really get to know each other and take that second look and not let the first one be your judge. Take that second look to make sure that the first one you took is either right or wrong.
That's right.
So I want you one day at our meeting to be the person to open it up, and then you can say that.
All right. Great.
Because we are women, and women, it's time for us to, we already know we lead the world and the nation. We know we're in control of that.
Right.
But we also need to control and be about where we are, so that we can be stronger and do what we need to do.
Correct.
So I want to thank you for coming on KISS Community Connections.
Thank you for having me.
And you will be back. Don't worry about it. Don't even. You'll be back.
Thank you, Phyllis.
And I want to thank everyone for listening as we talk about mental illness and how we were comfortable with it also. But I want you to always remember, you cannot lead a positive life with a negative mind. We'll talk to you next Sunday. Bye now.